Mm-hmm. Cuckoo! 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 Cuckoo!
Good morning and welcome to Get Enlightened with me, Lauren Scott. I'm here for our monthly Porchtime with
Paige!
And we were laughing because I have this like little opening that's the crow with the little magic. Ding.
Yeah. Isn't it a murder of crows?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're called when they're a group. But
They're
I
above
have
us.
my pet crow.
There's a murder above us.
We don't even need that.
Yeah. Well, I took a picture of a crow because it was sitting there staring at me at the chicken house.
Oh,
And then I just haven't gotten around to sending it to you. But I did.
Morgie left me my first gift.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. She left me my...
was it a Bitcoin?
No, it was a little egg.
Oh.
It was a little egg.
Like real?
Uh-huh.
Do you...
A little robin egg.
Oh! Little bitty...
Yeah. So it's like, there's a little egg here, and we looked on the cameras, and which I'd heard that once you start making, this is my second year to like make friends with her.
Yeah.
And once you start making friends with them, and they like start accepting your friendship and like they start leaving you gifts,
like me,
like little trinkets,
just like me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But you are a gift.
That's right.
So it was kind of cool because it's my first little gift that she left, and she left it exactly where I put her.
Are you going to re-gift it to someone else?
No, I just put it on my little outside altar.
Oh. Are you going to give something to her? Like a sunflower seed?
Food.
Oh, well, there you go.
I gave her food. That's how, I think we've talked about this, but if you want to befriend a crow, you can give them dog food. She likes dog food.
Oh.
And she likes eggs. I've talked about that, my eggs for the crows.
Do you scramble them?
No, and she does not like fake eggs. They have to be like real.
This is what I give to my chickens. Yeah, like I'll fry up the egg yolks into like a frisbee disc, and then I throw it over the fence, and that's like the favorite thing for the chickens to eat.
So cool. I love nature. Anyways, sorry if you are a every week listener. I haven't dropped in a few weeks because I've been busy, girl.
Because we've been popping and locking it.
And it's going to be like that.
I'm dropping it low. So we don't have time for the pod.
We had prom this last weekend.
I'm going to talk over
I
you.
was also
That's
in
what I'm doing.
Full circle moment.
Yeah.
I went into my high school for the first time in 28 years. I hadn't been to the high school that I graduated from since I walked out.
Same.
When I graduated, like that last day of school. It was really wild, but I went because my best friend's daughter was competing for regionals for gymnastic meet.
But so that's different than visiting. If you visit high school, that's whack.
Well, I wasn't visiting.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go back to high school. That's one of those things that you leave in the dust.
I mean, unless you have like kids that I get.
Yeah.
Which was wild how many of my friends' kids go there, one. But two, as soon as I walked in to check in, the teacher that was like checking people in to the gymnasium, she like knew who I was by my smile, and I hadn't been called my maiden name in like I don't know how long, so it kind of threw me off.
Well,
but I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah,
the Botox is working.
Is it the contouring? Do you contour on your face too?
Well, girl, I barely wear any fucking makeup. That's why I get Botox.
I don't know it. I don't own makeup.
I'm just not a big makeup person.
I don't know how, and at this point, I'm not going
to. But like. I'd much rather just be natural.
No.
I mean, naturally, but...
Like, my glasses are enough
I don't get
bling.
filler or anything like that.
No, why would you?
I get facials.
That's good enough.
Yeah. Then I got to spend time with every single person that I love the most, and I hadn't seen my godparents in a really long time, and I went by and surprised them and caught up with them, and that was great. But very full circle moments the whole time, and then I came back and it was prom.
Yeah.
So it was like 1 week, maybe week and a half of just like, what?
Well, and you're going to
my sons.
That's it's going to be very busy for you for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Very, very busy. It's going to be one. Well, and what are they, milestones? One milestone after the other, the last, and then the first, and the first. It's going to be a lot.
Pretty good. I cried. I got a little teared up when the cap and gown came, I'll probably get teared up when he walks. I'll probably get teared up when he walks through this elementary school. I think that's going to be a tearjerker for me. It's when they do this like little kid thing.
It was actually really cute, and they call it a clap out. I think it's a clap out. All the seniors walk through the elementary, and a lot of like Lily, my daughter, because the internet needs to know. She went to kindergarten there, so her teachers remember them, and that's when you're like, oh, because. Every day, it's kind of like you never see how much you age, but when somebody sees you in 20 years, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I had a lot of that feeling.
Yeah.
Going back to Rockwall. And I go back to Rockwall probably twice a year, I would say, once or twice a year. But this one, because she's competing and she's on the varsity gymnastics and she's so good. So I love to just go and watch.
Yeah. Well, those things are amazing.
Well, they are. And,
just the amazing stuff like
the stuff that they do
the stuff that they can do is crazy
than the stuff that they did when I was in school. I remember when PJ and Nicole could only they were the only ones that could throw a full.
Yeah.
Now fools are like the norm. Punch fronts are the norm. Like all of these moves that like nobody could. I mean, you could.
But they start baby.
Gymnastics team when you had a back handspring in 8th or 9th grade. Now you have to be able to run a full.
It was a
full pass. You know, it wasn't like that when I was in high school.
When I was in high school, it was a popularity contest.
Yeah, it was more like that too. But
yeah, I don't even think they had to know. Well, they had tryouts, but it was.
Yeah.
The student body
voted.
Like here they don't do that. It's about if you can actually do it.
Well, they used to have NCA because I used to be a judge for them, so I would go and do the high school
so you know more than me. I mean, look, I like to.
But I don't know anymore because I've been out of that for so long. So it's like brand new all over again.
Yeah.
But as far as the gymnastic meets go, shit. These girls are doing Olympic style stuff. I mean, that's what they're training for.
A friend of mine showed,
It's wild because, you know, the girls that trained for that, there were 2 in our high school that were in my class, and they're still great gymnasts. They can still back handspring, but, you know, when they were wanting to train for like the Olympics, they had special coach.
But I think they do that now. Like you cheer coach all year long.
It's a norm.
Yes.
It wasn't quite the norm back then. The guys were more into gymnastics than the girls were.
Oh.
At our school anyways.
I grew up in the country and boys didn't do gymnastics.
Yeah, I grew up in Rockwall.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different vibe.
It is a different vibe.
Look, Rockdale is different than Rockwall.
So coming from Rockwall and then going to my son's prom at the Expo Center was a very...
It's eye-opening, isn't it? It's an eye-opening experience, isn't it? You're like, this is the entire demographic. Okay.
But very full circle, like literally full circle moment. So
I just, I'm looking forward to it. Gunther went, but he doesn't really talk to me that much, but he did send me some photos.
Yeah, I got some video and photo of it. I'll give it to you after the show.
Okay, good.
But it's of his back because I was on the side where they were coming out, and so I'm probably in everybody's like back picture of.
I guess they did on the don't they have them on the internet or something? I don't know. But Gunny, I love him very dearly.
Yeah, prom was cool. Ayden got surprised. Sean got him a Porsche, a badass Porsche.
Oh,
so
Gunny drove his Jeep.
Yeah, his Jeep was cool though. But boy, we had to wait up there because I wasn't going to let him take the Porsche to the after party. You know, I was like, oh hell no.
No.
So this was my first and only, well, not my first prom to experience with Ayden because he did go last year, but he didn't do the red carpet last year because he wasn't a senior. And so this year, the way that they do it at this school is the thing that they do is these kids get like nice cars and they drive them up and then they walk out with their dates down their little group down the red carpet, get a picture and go to prom. And like all the parents sit on the sidelines and take pictures like they're paparazzi, I guess. It's cute. It's fun for like a small town. If I had anything to say to them, I would tell them that there's too many kids to be doing something like that now.
Yes.
Because it took him 2.5 hours to get through the line, and there was still another 2 hours to go. So those kids are missing out on all of prom. Not that You know what I mean?
Well, it was cute whenever there were like
30 kids.
Yes, but I think there's 165 or something.
Well, it's junior and senior prom. So
yeah. So and them. Lily said that everybody goes. Literally, almost everyone goes. So you have 250 cars.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, and
so I would say if there was any critique, that would be the one that I'd give, and they need to evolutionize because they've got huge classes now. But it was fun.
It was weird, and I don't know when they did
open just for us because
that was nice.
Yes, we had an 8:00. I thought, we'll get through there. We got there at 5:45. They opened the thing at 7 to start the drive-through. 8:00 comes, 8:30 comes. We finally get out of there like 8:45. So that was 3 hours we sat there and waited. But he wanted to go.
I'm really proud of you.
So I dropped off the Kia because that's his vehicle. Let him drive that, and man, took the Porsche. Went on a little.
Yeah, Lauren asked if I wanted to meet for a drink, and I said no.
She didn't even hesitate. She said no.
Nope. No, I did not want to meet for a drink. I was in my pajamas. And I was sitting on the couch, and there wasn't putting pants back on. Sorry. It wasn't going to be one of those things.
Well, let's talk about this for a minute. Because of the full circle moments, okay. I noticed that I saw a lot of people that I put on a pedestal when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
And then
they became actual people?
Yes, now they're actual people.
Now they're actual people?
I haven't seen them since, I was younger, and seeing some of those people and hearing their stories, I'm like, why do we do that? Why do you think we put people on a pedestal?
Well, how old are these people? How old are we? Like how old am I?
Like teachers or your parents.
Okay, because you're a child.
Yeah.
You're a child, and you trust them. Well, we are raised, it's my understanding, the way I was raised, that nobody tells a kid a bad thing. They don't tell the kids the bad things. They want to protect you. So they tell you what would give you a good light, or these other people a good light. And
so you think that it's because we're taught that as a young kid to put people on a pedestal?
Well, I think that society protects children because they don't want children to think people are bad, right? So you want to trust your teachers, so you don't tell them that your teachers are actually people. And it's like this.
But also, are we having to fight specifically our age, Gen Xers, baby boomers, and even millennials? Not so much Gen Zs because they're just now 17. They're in their young adulthoods. But are we having to course correct what we've taught our kids?
I teach. Yeah. Yes. You go first. And
we
then
do
I'll
this
go.
different, but in the big scheme of life, I really think a lot of Gen Xers were raised as latchkey kids. And I think that our generation is very much a generation that had to raw dog life in a lot of ways. Our parents worked all the time. They were raised by depression parents. We've talked about this. So what is it that we can stop, or how can we stop to where when our kids are grown up more, they understand that people are real, that life is real, that there's no reason to put people on a pedestal. You don't need to people please. These are a lot of the personality disorders that we're seeing are imprinted on us as a child.
Right.
And I think that realization was really made for me this past week, just going back to Rockwall and just seeing so many people that I hadn't seen in a long time. Some that I really thought were just amazing, and yet
they're just people.
They're just people.
So I remember having these epiphanies, and I told my kids from a long time ago, they're just people.
That's what
they're just people, and maybe they have their own problems, and they have their own demons to work through. And
so maybe that's where the millennials get so much empathy from.
Maybe. All I know is I saw this TikTok, and it's pretty fantastic. It's about a Gen Xer. She's talking about her mother, who is an absent present parent.
Mm.
And I was like,
that's how my parents
That's
were.
how my parents were. And they're here to teach me. I actually had this conversation with my yogis today. I did.
It's like a full circle moment.
It is a full circle moment because she's talking about how her father taught her all of these things and that she didn't realize the trauma that her mother had. And that's the reason why she would always
do those things.
Harp on these things. And it's kind of like, there is this really hard spot where you love people and you know they let you down. And you know that you have trauma from these people that loved you. And but they could, they only
considered trauma if it's all that they know.
That's where I was like, I don't think that what they did was on purpose. I think they were not able. They were not able. They couldn't. They didn't have it in themselves to be able to parent the way I needed to be parented. And
yet you see a lot of Gen X parents like us that parent have broken that cycle.
Well, and
then you see the millennial parents that are a little too sometimes soft with that cycle. And then you see this new group of parents that, they do the unparenting, unschooling thing, which is fun. Like, so where can we find that middle ground to give compassion that everybody's learning and that when you get to this stage, because I think middle life is, where we're getting to that stage where you look around and you're like, okay, I've raised my kid and he's a little bit different than I was. And you're starting to see the reasons why and put together, this is the psychology part of me.
But this is exactly like, I think about these things. But I literally thought about this yesterday.
I had to decompress over it because it was like, wow, for years I put so many people on a pedestal of, I want to be like this. I want to do that. I want to,
you think they're perfect, but you don't know.
All the shit that
you have no idea. It's kind of like if you look at somebody and you look at their car and you look at their house and you look at all these things and you're like, I want that. But you don't know what they have to do to get that.
Entrepreneurship.
Or, well, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think, that just goes hand in hand with the one that I put off with Leslie. People don't realize that that they glorify people's lives that run their own businesses, but it's a 24/7 kind of job.
Well, and I guess that's what you were talking about.
That's what I was meaning by that.
But you don't see they work 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
You don't see that for every plus there's a minus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have freedom, but you also, your failure is completely on you. Mm-hmm. And I should probably listen to that, but I've been listening to a lot of smut lately, trying to pretend like life is fantastic. So, anyway, I don't know. I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Yeah. So if you're having a tough time with this stage in life, I think maybe it's good that you two pause and give compassion and empathy towards those who are also doing the best they can when they raised us. Well, the one thing I hate is
you can't,
strong word.
Yes.
But you can't continuously blame the people who raised you.
You can't be angry.
You can't be angry at them. Yeah. You can't blame them because they too are only doing their best.
They didn't know any better. Okay, so our parents. So I'm 47. You're 45. My parents had me when they were 22 and 24.
Yeah, mine were like 29 and 30.
Okay, so they're babies. Having babies. They had 4 children within 6 years. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And
raised by depression parents.
Right.
They experience depression type things. So they are workaholics.
Yes.
They teach their kids the corporate lifestyle is the way to go. You know what I mean?
This is the only way to succeed. And so my father, his father was a doctor. His father was a doctor. I think his father was a doctor. So it was the understanding that he was going to be a doctor. His brother was a doctor. There was no option.
Yeah.
And he did better for us because at least we had an option of what our secondary education was going to be. Mm-hmm. He didn't. Mm-hmm. It was, these are the expectations.
Oh, my Mimi, her dad was a doctor.
Yeah.
And always told my mom, why be the nurse when you can be the doctor?
No, but seriously, my brother...
Like, that's how she was raised.
Yeah. So he said the hardest thing he ever had to tell my father is that he wasn't going to be pre-med.
Mm.
I mean, that kind of level of expectation, and but they let him, and I guess that is my takeaway, because you can sit here and you can spiral about all the negative things, but I try to just give compassion.
Yeah, I don't think it's positive or negative. I think it shapes the way
who you are,
who we are.
Right.
It shapes what we're seeing even happening between countries right now. Like, everything is really being shaped by generation after generation after generation. I mean, generational trauma obviously is a thing.
Yes.
And something that is no longer a taboo subject.
Thankfully.
And is passed down, So I guess the whole point of this is, like, full circle generational trauma. Like, the best thing that you can do is really work on yourself and try to do different with your kid.
So that's what there's this TikTok. I don't know if I shared it or not. And it said, if you don't slay your demons, your children will.
Yeah, because they're just carrying it on.
You're carrying it on. And because somebody said, I just wanted my children to have a lighter load.
And I think really that's what our parents wanted too.
They did. But
they taught us the only way they knew how, and that was,
which is,
your lighter load is to raw dog your life and figure it out.
Well, right. And that a therapist is a therapist, and we don't ever tell anybody our problems. You just...
Well, my mom was a therapist, so we...
Oh. Well, we were called them therapists, and that is what they said. And I was like, you're raised in this kind of environment where mental health is like,
it's a woo-woo. It's a woo-woo.
It is a woo-woo, and you shut it down and you get through it. Cause, okay, my wedding, I was getting emotional, and I was told, we're getting through this.
Oh.
Yes. That is who raised me.
Yeah. But they were probably raised like that.
That's how they were raised.
Yeah.
And they
don't show emotion.
We don't show...
kids are something that's not... It's pushed away. You're seen, not heard.
Yes.
Yeah,
you do as you're told.
Exactly.
And...
Exactly.
And it's kind of like this. Like, I tell these stories not as it... for you to understand.
Yeah. Because
other people were raised this way too.
Yeah.
And this is not ideal.
Yes. Now, there was something else that I wanted to talk about full circle. We're going to finish it out.
Okay.
You really see how much you've grown when you're around old paradigms that you now recognize.
You don't engage. Well, I don't engage.
Mean, whether you engage or not is up to you, but you don't engage negatively. You look at things as a different perspective, and you don't take it on. So Paige had asked me.
Oh yeah, come on.
Paige had asked me that. Well, go ahead. Tell the world what you asked me before we got on.
Well, the TikTok has been telling me all these things about. Is it high vibration?
Yes, that's what you.
Yes, and they were like, if you resonate at a high vibration, this happens. You blah blah blah. Yeah. And then I asked Lauren, what does that mean?
So, like what we were talking about.
Yeah.
When you have growth, you no longer are triggered by the things that used to trigger you or used to get you upset. The growth mindset is realizing this used to trigger me and it's not anymore, right? I really don't like saying high and low vibration because I feel like that's
literally had never heard it before.
Bypassing way of getting through talking about how energy is high or low.
So I literally had never heard this before.
So I'm glad you actually brought this up because this ties in with everything. And you can read about this in my book, Achieving Harmony, which you can buy.
I better read that book.
At Barnes & Noble.
It's at my house.
And or Amazon. With that
Put smut down, pick up. Self-help book.
With that being said, one of the things that the high vibration is talking about is, they'll say you attract yourself to kids more. Animals are attracted to you.
Yeah.
You're less to trigger. I like to call that you're in your higher self energy instead of saying high or low vibration, because I feel like
it sounded woo woo, and I was like, I don't even know what this means.
Woo-woo, and really, the vibration is the same thing as saying energy, but it just sounds a little bit better, a little bit more scientifically knowledgeable.
Yeah,
you're in low vibration and I can't be around you, because that's spiritually bypassing. If you were in high vibration,
sounds culty.
Listen, if you were in high vibration enough, any low vibration person is automatically not triggering you in the way to say, oh, I am in high vibration and you're in low vibration.
Sounds twatty.
Yeah, you can acknowledge that. Oh, she's in a very negative energy, not mindset mood right now. I recognize that, but comparing it, that is putting you just as much as in the low vibration, and so therefore that's why I feel like that's spiritually bypassing.
Yeah,
because you're not really confronting.
Well, it's judgy,
feeling, and it's judgy, which is if you're in a high vibration, you're not supposed to be judgy.
Because you really shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people.
Thank you.
Because
exactly.
I won.
So you should be living by.
I get a cookie.
The highest good that you possibly can. Every morning when I wake up, I ask for my higher self to lead my day.
Okay.
Does that make my day a high vibration? Most of the time, yeah. Most of the time, I will notice that negative shit just kind of falls off. And that doesn't even mean people. It means just shit that would trigger me.
I try to pretend it's not. Well, right. I try.
But when people put on labels like the high vibration, low vibration, then people start wondering, oh my God, am I in high vibration? Oh my God, if I'm low vibration.
I just had no idea what it meant.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's just it's a woo-woo way of saying higher energy, lower vibed energy, low vibes, high vibes, same difference.
Positive, negative?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it goes full circle into what we were talking about, into like realizing that,
Well, and I guess we can go back to talking about why you don't recognize people's true selves and their true struggles, because I'm thinking that
people only show you what they want.
That's what I'm saying. They don't ever show you reality. So
I had a business partner that I thought we were close and best friends with, and I had no idea the dynamic that she lived by until I was so far in the other side.
You can't get out.
That it was like, oh, if I had known this dynamic, I would have never done this partnership.
Well, it's like I was talking to a friend of mine today. I was like, I have no idea why they would say the things that they said. I would never lie about these things. Yeah. Why would they lie about that?
Jealousy.
It makes no sense. In my
they're low vibration.
I was like, are they just like, they're toxic? Is that the same?
Same thing.
Okay.
But also, it's just different labels that people put on it. That's why I like to talk about an energetic source, because it's easier to understand that it doesn't have to be a label. It has to be how you feel, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself, and how you handle the situation.
Right. So you're trying to float above life. That's what I try to do. I float above other people's shit is the best that I can do.
Well, because really the only person that you're living for is you and your own shit.
This is true.
And when you give your energy to other people's shit constantly, it drains you.
Yeah, and you're never going to change it.
Hence the reason why I also say always call back your energy at night.
Oh, I need to
before you go to bed, clear your energy and call it back.
I need to start calling my energy
because you don't realize how much energy you give away. Again, another thing that you can learn on Achieving Harmony, which you can get in Amazon.
Oh. Excuse me, I need to go read a book now. I think it's called Achieving Harmony. I believe it's available on Amazon. I know that. Oh, and Barnes and Noble. I think it's $11.11.
Yes.
Or so.
Well, if you do the ebook.
Yeah.
I think it's $22.22, $24.24 on Barnes.
When was 777?
It was, yeah, but they made us
tariffs.
They made us up it because of
inflation.
Yeah, inflation printing.
Thanks,
but it's going good. Love the book. You should check it out.
I should read it.
I have really exciting news. Really.
Okay, give it to me, baby.
No, we're not putting it out there
okay,
yet.
No, okay.
It's in the middle of processing with lawyers and things like that. But we have some very exciting news that's going to be added to the brand.
I think they call these teasers.
You're getting good at this.
God, I'm so good at this. TikTok is teaching me so many things.
So many.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, guys, if you're in the stage of life and you're doing prom and all the things, we are thinking about you while we are
vibrating high, baby.
Literally and
figuratively. I'm just gonna vibrate high. I need to. If you knew the things were going on in my head,
we're gonna end it. Join me next week. Join me next week.
Yeah, next week, baby.
All the astrology, which, if you know, Aries is taking over right now. We have a new moon that is, well, it'll be already passed by the time that this is dropped. So it is going to be one you're going to want to tune in, because the rest of 2026 astrology is
great. It's going to be great, right?
It is. It's something.
Great.
It's something.
Okay, it's going to be awesome.
I'm really excited to actually hear about it, because for me, and to see, I talked to her the other day and we were talking about,
I love her stuff. I think it's fascinating.
What I was wanting to put out after this dream that I had. And everybody that knows me knows that when I dream, it's going to happen, because.
Yeah. I'm like, please don't tell me this, because it's depressing.
Give me a year and I'll.
Yeah. And I'm like, mother forker. I still like, the best thing Rachel said on this TikTok is joy is a revolution or a rebellion.
Joy is a rebellion.
Yeah. And I was like, that's fantastic.
If you look around, all that they're trying to do is scare tactic and.
Be happy. People get angry.
Well, again.
It pisses people off.
Again, that is growth. That is living in a
high vibration. High vibration.
All right, guys, tune in next week to Get Enlightened with Rachel. And thanks again, Paige, for getting on with Porchtime for Paige.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks for having me.
Thanks to our listeners. We'll talk next week.
Peace out, home slice.
Peace.
Whoop.